Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary, your hub for everything Jamaican football related. Accuracy, reliability, credibility, and positivity right here on Reggae Boys Commentary. It's Saturday evening here in Jamaica. It's around 6:38 p.m. Jamaica time. Where are you all watching this video from? I certainly hope that everybody is doing well. And, let us know in the comments where in particular you're watching this video from in particular. Where in the globe are you watching this video from as we speak? And what time is it? That part of the globe. Right now it's around 7:38 in Florida and majority of the east coast of the United States. Also, it is 8:38 p.m. in many parts of South America. Right now in the UK after midnight. Other parts of Europe 1:38 a.m. Sunday morning. So different corners of the globe, different times as we speak. So a mixture of audiences, and I must say I'm grateful for those individuals that have been able to tune in at this moment in time as we go right into this topic in particular. As usual, when we reach that 4-minute mark, 5-minute mark, we go into exactly what the title, which has been mentioned above, and what you see in the title, in the thumbnail, that will be discussed this evening, amongst the questions that I know that you guys will have as well. So we're going to be able to have a discussion about that so that everybody can be able to have a fair share in things. So yes, let us know how you're doing. It's Saturday. It's the 13th of July. So we're almost in the middle of the month. It's amazing how time goes by so quickly, isn't it? It truly is remarkable when you analyze things from that sort of standpoint, how quickly time has gone by in this month. So it has been quite something that you would have to be pleased about. So again, once more, a reminder to everybody to hit the like button, and after doing so, to hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary as well. All right, so that everybody can be able to get aware with everything. Okay. So let's go right to it, shall we? Great to see the comments coming in. Keisha Lumsden says, hi, Simon. Good evening. Good evening, Keisha. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Great to see the emojis in the chat as well. Florida, 7:39 p.m. Yeah, that sounds about right. Michael Powell says, New York, Poughkeepsie. All right. I am so special, says the boss. Simon, you're the best in this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. And you say Sunrise, Florida. Okay. Sunrise, Florida, quite an interesting place. You turn right, you end up in Sawgrass Mall. You turn left, and then you end up down south. You end up down in Miami. You go even south, you end up in the Keys. And you go even more south, you end up in Key West. And if you go any more south than Key West, you will end up somewhere around Cuba or the Cayman Islands as well. So again, a very warm welcome to everybody that is watching this video at this point in time. We are live, and again, a reminder to everybody to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. So let's go to the title of this video now, which speaks about letting history repeat itself. And why am I saying all of this? Well, there's 5 examples that I want to make in this evening's video so that everybody is fully aware of the title in particular, because I'm not somebody that misleads people. I'm somebody that says it straight how it is. And that is exactly what I'm doing to do. No clickbait, no pasa, no cas. That is not Simon Preston. And I'm sorry, if you came for that, then this is not the platform for you. It's not. This is where intelligent minds come and continue and want to continue to see the improvement of Jamaican football and continue to see the growth and plan ahead for what lies ahead. It's as simple as that. So that's what I'll say from that sort of standpoint, so that everybody is 100% aware of all of those things. So let's get right to it. Let history repeat itself. What does that mean? Well, there's 5 examples, like I said, I want to share. One from the 80s, one from the 70s, 2 from the 70s, 80s to 90s, 1995, 1998, and 96 to 97 thereabouts. Okay? Good. Keisha Lumsden says, exactly just the facts. Well, right here. WD Wizard says, good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, WD Wizard. You've tuned in good timing. So let's go straight to the topic, okay? The title of this video. Let history continue to repeat itself. What does that mean? Okay. I'm sure everybody watching this video admits and acknowledges that sports is a huge tool for nation building, unity, and creating an egalitarian state within a country. Let's start on the island of Jamaica. Let's start and speak about that. There's an example I want to give in the 70s and 80s, but I'll go to that in my second point. Let's talk about the 1998 World Cup qualifying campaign, right? What was happening in the country during that period of time? Well, it's no secret that there was quite a number of challenges that was taking place within the country, especially with crime and violence. And of course, many persons shared their views about what should happen politically as well and how the country should run. But what happened in the mid-90s? Well, the culmination of qualifying for the World Cup created an egalitarian state in Jamaica. And for the first time since Jamaica was under the Spanish rulership, we experienced something that we've never done before. Yep, that is right. For the first time since Jamaica were under the rulership of the Spanish, Jamaica experienced their most crime-free day, November 16, 1997. November 16, 1997 is the last day in Jamaican history where there were 0 deaths on the island in one day. Coincidence? I think not. It was the same day that Jamaica qualified for the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. There was unity, passion, togetherness, the heads of the two political parties embracing at the full-time whistle. That is exactly what sport, and specifically what football, has done for Jamaica. It brought everybody together, no matter who you were, middle class, upper class, lower class. Black Jamaicans, white Jamaicans, Indian Jamaicans, Chinese Jamaicans, Lebanese Jamaicans, mixed race Jamaicans, German Jamaicans, Irish Jamaicans, you name it, all unified together. And that is exactly what it did. Let me go to another example now. Many people don't know this, but make sure that you know this right now, and make sure that when you talk about this to people, you tell them that Simon Preston told you this. Simon Preston from St. Andrew, Jamaica told you this, what I'm just about to tell you right now, okay? And you want to know what that is? What is the longest unbeaten run by any sports team? Is it New Zealand's rugby team? No. Is it Spain's international football team? No. Was it Brazil's international football team? No. Was it the United States lacrosse team? No. The longest unbeaten run by any sports team is 15 years unbeaten. And who was that? The West Indies cricket team from 1980 to 1995. 15 years unbeaten in test series. 15 years unbeaten. This was also a compelling time in the Caribbean. We had a group of players that were born in colonial times and grew up in independent times. There was an adjustment, but it was always felt that they were always inferior compared to the colonizers, England. And cricket was that source that united the Caribbean. First team to win a Cricket World Cup, the West Indies. First team to win the Cricket World Cup back-to-back, the West Indies. First team to get to 3 World Cup finals, the West Indies. The only team in history to go 15 years unbeaten, the West Indies cricket team. And I know you might be saying, Simon, what does this have to do with football? Well, be patient, because I'm getting to it. And that is only point number 2. Let's go to the third point, shall we? 1983. 1983. And you guys know this as well. What I'm talking is absolute facts. And they even made a Netflix movie about this called 83. 1983 was when India won the Cricket World Cup. Many people felt that they couldn't do it. India at that time were no cricket powerhouse. Prior to the 1983 World Cup, India only ever won one match in the history of the Cricket World Cup. And that was in 1975 against East Africa. And as we know, East Africa is not a country. It literally was a team that was put together by persons of Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Sri Lankan descent that spent time or grew up in Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and Zambia. But Mr. India himself, Kapil Dev, he united the nation. What happened? They beat the West Indies in the group stage. They beat Zimbabwe in the group stage. They beat Australia in the group stage. What did the powers of India do? They realized how cricket was uniting India. So you know what was done? Every village all across India had a television and a radio set so that they could tune into the semi-finals and final. And it united the entire nation. For the first time in the independent history of India, they were 35 years old at the time in 1983. For the first time in history, the entire India united. Look how that has galvanized the nation today. They've produced some of the best players in the world today. They've gone on to win another 50-over World Cup. They've gone on to win 2 T20 World Cups. They've gone on to win an ICC Champions Trophy. They've won under-19 World Cups. They've built a women's team that have competed. It all started through 1983. That's point number 3. Let's talk about 1995. What happened in 1995? In 1995, well, what happened in 1995 was this. Well, in the early 90s, South Africa, still persons having remnants of apartheid, disunity between the blacks and the whites. But what did Nelson Mandela do? He used sport. He used sport to unite a nation. Nelson Mandela used sport to unite blacks and whites in South Africa. Now, the black population is one that never traditionally played rugby because it was seen as part of apartheid. As always, 90% of the players were of European descent, Dutch, English, Scottish heritage. However, South Africa hosted the 1995 World Cup, and what happened? They won. Nelson Mandela backed the team, gave them all the support they need, and guess what? They won. They won, and for the first time, black South Africans, Indian South Africans, white South Africans, in open arms, hugging each other. A uniting force. That's point number 3. 2 more to go. Rather, 1 more to go. Let's talk about France 98. France did not qualify for the 1990 nor 1994 FIFA World Cups. It was a real disappointment, as 86 was the last time they were there at the global showpiece. They decided to create Clairefontaine. France as well was also going through disunity. France needed help after the country was war-ravaged during World War II, so they sent for help. And who were the persons that came to France? Persons from the Caribbean, blacks, persons from North African, Arabs, and of course you had whites. Many persons felt that uniting blacks, Arabs, and whites was impossible. But eventually, Blanche, Bure, Noir united together and won the 1998 FIFA World Cup. Thierry Henry, a man of Guadeloupean and Martinican heritage. Zinedine Zidane, a man who was born to Algerian parents. Didier Deschamps, the captain, a white Frenchman, uniting French people. Blacks, whites, Arabs, uniting. Why? Because of sport. Let history repeat itself. Let history repeat itself. Let these 5 examples I've told you be the cutting edge, be the source of inspiration, be the evidence that you need that 2026 will unite our nation, that 2026 will lift our people, that 2026 will galvanize us from Westmoreland to Negril, from California to New York, from London to Bristol to the Midlands to Manchester to Yorkshire. Unite all of us together. The 3 million of us in Jamaica, the 4 million of us in the diaspora, and those ones that are still on their way, that will be born soon. Again, let history repeat itself. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Just like when you have a horse in a horse racing race, they have on their blinkers. Put on your blinkers as well. Do not let cas, pasa, or any distraction stop you from your role in helping Jamaica get to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Because you have a role to play. All of these examples I've mentioned, India winning the 83 Cricket World Cup, West Indies, 15 years unbeaten, no other sports team has ever done that. And don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. So when people want to go and talk about Spain winning back-to-back Euros and a World Cup sandwich in between it and Brazil's dominance, that comes nowhere close. Absolutely nowhere close to 15 years unbeaten as a sports team. Can you imagine the insatiable hunger that you need to go 15 years unbeaten for any sports team? That is a difficult task. Preston North End couldn't go past 40 games in the late 19th century. So don't forget, the most longest unbeaten run by any sports team, you've had Jamaican involvement in it. Michael Holding, Patrick Patterson, Jeffrey Dujon, and I can go on and on and on. Embrace it. Embrace what we have done. Embrace the positivity. We are a big deal. You are a Jamaican. I'm a Jamaican. Embrace that. Do you know how special that is? You know how much of a privilege that is? How many times have you been complimented? How many times have you been praised or an icebreaker of a conversation has started just because of your nationality? Do you know how much people want to be us and want to act and talk and be born or live where we are? It's an absolute privilege. An absolute privilege. Let history continue to repeat itself. Again, India, 1983. West Indies, the 15-year unbeaten run. No other sports team in the history will ever go 15 years unbeaten. Let me tell you something. Until Armageddon, until paradise, we will never, ever see a sports team go 15 years unbeaten. Never. You can see a 15-game unbeaten run, but 15 years unbeaten, you'll never see that again in any team sport. Never. South Africa, 1995. France winning the 1998 World Cup. Jamaica, the Reggae Boys qualifying for 1998. Do not be sidetracked. Because We're 8 games away from the World Cup. 8. That's less than 10 fingers. We are this many games. This many games from a World Cup. It's so close. By the end of June next year, we're going to be this many games. After September 2025, we'll be this many games. After October, we're going to be this many games. So close. So close. Do not forget that. Do not forget that. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Every single one of us has a very important role to play in this journey. The likes of Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, Dr. Horace Chang, Minister Grange, you know how important the roles they have in terms of naturalization. You think about the administration, they have a role to play in relation to being prepared for matches and tournaments and the overall administration of football in this country. The 12th man, you know your importance, especially come September 6, 2024 against Cuba. The staff knows their importance as well in preparing the team and of course the players. Again, do you know the last time that we had a full stadium for a Reggae Boys game? March 2013 against Panama. That's over 10 years ago. Let's do it again in September. It's a Friday night. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you love Jamaica, let's do it. Okay? So make sure you're there at the National Stadium come September 6th. Because it's a special journey. And one, I promise you that we'll never forget. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Let these examples inspire you. These examples of teams and the successes they had, including Jamaica, they brought unity. And I could have used more examples as well. I could have said Afghanistan qualifying for the 2015 Cricket World Cup. And the day they qualified, also 0 deaths recorded. Afghanistan, a country that when you turn on the TV and you hear any news story about Afghanistan, it's very rare that you see something or hear something that is positive. But Afghanistan qualifying for a Cricket World Cup and understanding that there were 0 deaths recorded the day they qualified, that is no coincidence. Sports, and specifically football, is a powerful force. A powerful, turning, guiding force. Let that stay with you. Let that stay with you. And again, there could be so many more examples I could have used. So many more examples that I could have used. And these are just 5 or 6 examples. Just think about it, there could have been more. I could talk about South Korea and the 2002 World Cup and what that did as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? I could have spoken about England as well. About the actual numbers of what happened post World Cup 2018. England finished 4th in the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. And while England did not win that tournament, you know what did happen? It was a period post-Brexit where people didn't know what was going to happen. Unstable economy. You don't know who was going to be in charge, but the one thing that kept people going, the one thing that kept people sane, joyful, happy, was England in the latter stages of a World Cup. Last minute winner against Tunisia, slapping Panama for 6, winning a first ever penalty shootout in World Cup history, defeating Sweden in a World Cup for the first time ever, and finishing 4th in a tournament, producing the Golden Boot winner. Think about Euro 2021. Behind the United States, England had, for a period of time, the highest recorded COVID-19 cases. But look what Euro did for England. the win against Croatia, the win against Czech Republic, the win against Germany, the win against Ukraine, the win against Denmark united the nation. Despite what was going on with COVID, despite what was happening as well with Brexit and other situations, football united the people. And it has the ability to do just that as well. So again, I say to you, keep your blinkers on, because we're going to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And I say this to you right now. September 6th, that is your opportunity, because the performances, rather than the results of the Nations League, determine what the World Cup qualifiers will be like next year as well. 10 to 12 points. It means something in relation to a good seeding for the third round of World Cup qualifiers. So let that stay with you. Let that be something that you can remember. Let's take some comments at this point in time. Sheikh Mizaz says tackle. Tom Stranger says up top, Simon. Up top. What's up? I am so special. Says Simon, you're a whiz brain. Thanks. Brace Wilson is number one. Says good evening, Simon. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lee says, what did I miss? Well, Lee, I guess you tuned in at a right time where I spoke about and explained the title of the video, and I'm sure it gave clarity to what exactly I was saying. That's true, Shiraz. If you look at the French team that won the World Cup in 2018, the vast majority of the players are of African heritage. That is true. That is true. To this day, you have that same diversity of players who are, whether it's North African or Sub-Saharan African descent or Caribbean, you know, parents from Guadeloupe or Martinique. You even have a Caribbean-born player that won the World Cup in 2018, and that was Thomas Lemar. Lee says, good evening, bro. Good evening. How are you doing? OG Kush, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So again, you all have no reason to panic. Be calm, and everything will fall into place. It is as simple as that. Absolutely, Tom Stranger. You're absolutely spot on with that statement when you say you'd love to see that unity with Jamaicans all over the world when we make it to the World Cup. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've said this publicly, but I don't mind saying this again. You know what's my dream? My dream is to, when Jamaica is playing a game, to arrive at a venue, I look in the stands, and I see a sea of gold all across the stadium. You're exiting the bus and you're going to go into the stadium and into the changing room. You look left, you look right, and what do you see? You see the Jamaican colors everywhere. You hear the vuvuzela, you hear the blowhorn, you hear the music playing. A man is, you know, just parking his car and just listen to the song by Beenie Man, King of Dancehall, or listening to the song Dude, or a man just exiting his vehicle and listening to the song Massacre King, or just leave his vehicle and listening to the song Rajay Wild Out. And it be in a while out tonight, partying at my house tonight. What up, my sense them sign out tonight? I get Kiwi, go fly, go Dubai. You know, understand what I'm saying? Well, OG Kush, that needs to change. You need to love the football team. You do. You do. Because it's going to need all hands on deck. Tom Stranger, we don't entertain discussions like that on this platform because we're going to be there in 2026. I don't understand when you say that I'm a pirate because I'm not of Dutch heritage at all. I have zero Dutch heritage at all. My mother's side is Indian and my father's side is English white, so no, I am not a pirate. Well, know yourself, you know that situation already. As Coach Helgrimson, you heard him say already in many interviews that speaking about it does not help. Well, everybody has to do is be patient, and we'll see. So it's as simple as that. Well, OG, again, that statement you made is incorrect. As you can see, I have hair right here on my head. So again, that's another statement that you said that is actually inaccurate. What region would you like to see the new from? Region, new what? New what? I don't understand. Right. RKM Mara, where do you rank Jamaican CONCACAF at the moment? If we're going based off of results, you'd have to say Jamaica third, finishing third in the CONCACAF Nations League, but we're pushing up and certainly will make tremendous strides going up. So that's as simple as that. Yeah. And OG Kush, I'm sure you heard, or maybe teachers in school or parents would have told you that if you don't have anything constructive or nice to say, then don't say it, because that is something that is being taught. But if you weren't taught that, at least I'm letting you know right now so that you are aware 100%. So that's something that you can be mindful about and aware about. So I hope everybody took value from this video and understood the reason of exactly what I was saying with these teams and the strides that were made by these teams as well in terms of the success and the unity that it brought to Jamaica. So again, let history repeat itself. Let history repeat itself. Let Jamaica qualifying for 2026 continue to do what it did November of 1997. Can you imagine November 2025? Wow. Just looking forward to that day. That's going to be quite a day. It will be. It will be a special day, honestly. So that's why I'm hopeful that everybody who is watching this video right now will understand what I've said. So it is as simple as that, so that everybody can be able to understand things clear. So yeah, hope everybody took value from this video and that you benefited from it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button as well so that you can stay more in tune and involved with things as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Use the super chat feature so that you can get more involved in the channel as well, so that you can essentially stay more in tune and be able to ask questions as well. RKM Mara says, can you speak Hindi, by the way? I can speak Hindi. I wouldn't say fluently, but I do know some words in Hindi. So 4 is char. Haramse means relax or easy. Namaste means hello. Sati krakidi, like nice to meet, nice to see you, or good to see you, or pleasure. So I do know a few words in Hindi for sure. Meaja Simon. My name is Simon. Jal Nikal. Get lost. Go away. So I know a few words. So Lee, the next edition of the FIFA rankings will be out on Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see how the FIFA rankings will be affected. But again, I reiterate that the Nations League games in September and October will go a far way in determining what sort of seeding the third round of the World Cup qualifiers will be. So that is why it is important to get maximum points in those games. These are games in our confederation. The Copa America is not in our confederation. We are a CONCACAF team, not a CONMEBOL team. Okay? Jermaine Chambers says, Up, Simon, what's up? Well, Jermaine, you missed 36 minutes of this video, man. You have to rewind. You have to rewind, man. You have to rewind, okay? Make sure you rewind so that you're able to get everything, really, from this video, okay? It's very important that you do so that we can be able to progress forward, okay? So I look forward to seeing from you guys. Please leave your comments below. In the comments below, let us know how you feel. Tell us how you feel. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Share this with a family member, a friend, and tell us how you feel about that, okay? So that would be appreciated. Thank you very much, guys. Be safe. And tomorrow is the Euros final and Copa America final. Let's go with Colombia to win the Copa America, and to win the Euros, let's go with 3 lines on the shirt. Jules Rimet still gleaming. No more years of hurt. No more need for dreaming. So let's go with that. Okay? Let's go with that. You know the song, 3 lines on the shirt. Jules Rimet still gleaming. No years of hurt. No more need for dreaming. All right, guys. See you soon.